Welcome to Changing Perceptions Through Blogging. This is a follow-up podcast from a brown bag session that I did on February 25th, 2009. This presentation actually includes several of the updates from questions that we got during the brown bag. And I'm excited to present this to you in Pecha style, which is 20 slides, 20 seconds each. Hopefully this will be about 5 minutes. That's the plan. My name is Mark Sirkin. I'm with Worldwide EPG Marketing. I manage a project called the CIO Network and also the social media launch services. You'll be able to find the links in the description of the podcast, follow it to the SharePoint sites to learn more, and to download the full deck. So why blog? Primarily blogs can help you and your customer relationships. You can change perceptions, create influence in the marketplace, engage your customers at a different level, build your reputation, provide an immense amount of transparency, and really sort of break down that evil empire Borg thing that we got going on, and provide scale to those relationships. But I want to start by talking about the core difference in thinking between direct marketing and traditional marketing and advertising and engagement marketing and relationship programs. I would like to have you think about blogging as a lot closer to face-to-face one-on-one relationships than it is to traditional marketing. I think it'll help you in your thinking. And sort of to start to illustrate that a little bit, I just want to show you some statistics a little bit. And I think sort of the proof is in the pudding here a little bit. You know, the health blog run by Dr. Bill Krauts, this is December '08 statistics, 240,000 page views versus 5,600 page views for the MS Health website. So there's a significant difference in how people think of these sites, how they relate to them, how they rely on them. There's different types of blogs, right? So we have personal blogs, the blogs that many of us just use to talk about what's going on in our lives. There are team blogs, corporate blogs. There's internal blogs, business blogs, and then really other blogs, right? So there's vlogs and moblogs and a whole bunch of other lots of blogs. But before you blog, I want to talk a little bit about some Forrester research and their framework for blogging and for really thinking about this, which is their post strategy. So think about people, think about objectives, think about your strategy, and then decide on what technology you want to use. And I'll just mention that as you think about technology, there's a blogging deal that I encourage you to sign up for. There was a recent thread where Steven Sinofsky actually jumped in and talked about how blogging is really a ton of work, and it really is a tool. And it isn't the only one available, and it certainly is not the best one to choose at times. So really consider your tools as you go forward. There are cases where blogging is not the best choice. When you think about your blog, or if you already have one, think about the tone you want to use. Do you want to be funny? Do you want to be authoritative and decisive? Do you want to be referential? Do you want to be all of these things? It's up to you as you develop your blog, as you develop your strategy. You get to make those decisions, but then stick with them. And I think you can really create a personality and a tone that fits. I want to talk a little bit about some best practices at a very high level. LCA's sort of formal policy around blogging is really be smart, and that's we can talk more about that if you're interested. Just contact me. But with blogging, observe the same etiquette you observe during emails. Observe that. The New York Times rule. How would this post look if it was quoted on the front page of the New York Times? Keep that in mind. What to talk about in your blog? Talk about your expertise. Talk about your passions. But develop a good mix. Don't only talk about Microsoft products. Talk about yourself. Talk about what you're interested in a little bit. Figure out the right mix. So if there are things in your own life that you want to bring into the blog, talk about them. People want to connect with other people, and that's what blogging is all about. Here's just some really quick examples. The health blog I mentioned earlier, Dr. Bill Krauts' blog, is a great example of a blog that's built a huge amount of credibility. The Powers and Utility blog from John Arnold, and certainly the Microsoft Manufacturing and Resources blog, great examples of how to build credibility in the marketplace, drive influence, and really build an audience that's interested in what these bloggers have to say for themselves. Your first post is crucial. It sets the tone and the stage and the expectations for your reader. You have to establish your authority. It is your blog. You can establish your credentials, and then you can prove them over time by posting and giving people a reason to come back to your blog over and over again and become real fans of what you're talking about. In the end of the day, though, it's really all about the conversation. So Bill Marriott's quote, which I just love, "I'm venturing into uncharted territory as I launch this blog." This is Bill Marriott from Marriott. "A year ago, I didn't even know what a blog was until my communications team began telling me about all the blog traffic on travel and tourism." Real honest, real open. Same thing with Rick Clancy from Sony. He says, "I realize this blog may not please everyone, but the world of Sony sure does have a lot to offer." In terms of driving traffic, right, we need to get our blogs listed. There's tons of resources. You can check the SharePoint site for more information. Lots of resources available. But think about how often you want to post. Tell your colleagues and your friends. promote yourself, promote the blog, make sure that RSS is enabled, and just frankly be interesting. I think people will like that and enjoy it. A word on ROI. It's a big topic when it comes to this stuff. At the end of the day, there's two ways to look at ROI. First is qualitatively. How deep are the relationships that I'm developing? How deep are they going? And then sort of quantitatively, right? How many followers do I have? How many readers and subscribers do I have? How much traffic do I have? It's a good way to think about things, qualitatively and quantitatively. In terms of setting up a blog, you see the URL on the page today. You can certainly contact me. MSDN and TechNet are probably the easiest places to get started quickly. You can certainly use live.com. Many people like WordPress. I would just stay away from Blogger for obvious reasons. Again, I just want to mention LCA. It's guidance, not policies. Be smart when you're out there and you're blogging. Think about all the things about confidentiality, about product information that you already know that you already don't disclose. Think about being at an event. The same kinds of things you would share with people one-on-one, giving a keynote speech or being on a panel. You need to think about as you're doing your blog. So just be smart and you'll be fine, and know your LCA contact. A real quick word on microblogging. I do have another deck, and I'll do another podcast on microblogging at some point. The bottom line with Twitter in particular is yes, I do believe microblogging and Twitter have value in business. Consider them for driving traffic, extending the reach of your blog, providing your readers with a beacon to stay in touch. And remember, Twitter's mobile, so you can actually update things from wherever you are in the world. And that's it. I'd like to invite you to contact me and visit my SharePoint site. My alias is msirkin. I am building a whole suite of ideas around how to use social media in B2B context, and I look forward to hearing from you, and I hope you enjoyed this podcast.